Hello, and welcome to my plant room. I have had a few people, and I'm not joking, just a few people, ask me for a plant tour. And I thought, well, what a perfect opportunity, or what a perfect time to do it on New Year's Day. It is January 1st, 2026, and I am doing my first plant tour for this year. I saw a bunch of people do plant tours at the end of the year, and I thought I'll just do it at the beginning because I want to see where at the end of 2026 I want to see where I am compared to today. So yeah, let's get into this. I don't even know how to start or where to start. So I'm thinking I will start over here and then move over here. Yeah, let's get into this. So I'm gonna start over here at this window. Ooh, grow light. This window here faces south. So every now and then, not right now during the winter, kind of, the sun kind of shifts, but it's still, hold on, that will never ever stop clicking. It's a sun catcher, and it's on a, yeah, ignore that. The sun catcher is on a hook, and it swings every now and then, and it just keeps clicking and never stops. It's like a pendulum. But anyways, this is a south-facing window, and this is where I keep all of my cacti and succulents, and the cat tree is also here. I thought this was going to be a very good spot for all my cacti and succulents, only because it's south-facing, it gets a lot of light, and it gets a lot of sun, like direct sun, so that, cacti and succulents need full light and sun. Now they don't burn or anything there. I have noticed a lot of new growth, actually. Like, let's see, this is my rickrack cactus, and it is in severe need of watering, actually. So I will do that after this video. It looks like I have to do some cacti succulent chores today. Yeah, I have two, if you can probably get you closer, I have two Rhipsalis here. This is my Paradoxa, and I forgot the name of that one. Rhipsalis something. Ooh. I have some euphorbias over here. This is really tall euphorbia that started leaning. I'm not sure why. She's fine, and she's losing some leaves, but she'll be okay. And then I have String of Hearts there. And I just have some kind of random plants in this spot over here. That's just where they landed. I am not done with organizing, and as far as shelving goes, I really do want to get some new plant shelves, but that's just gonna have to wait for now. But so yeah, I have a vision here, and I'm just not sure what it is, but it's coming along. We've been at this house for 3 months now, and we moved in what, November, October, November, mid-November we moved here, and everything just kind of just got placed everywhere, anywhere, in random spots. So I'm not, this whole plant room is not where I want it to be right now. It's gonna be evolving slowly throughout the year, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I have Syngonium, some Sansevierias over there, another Euphorbia there. This girly here, I just got her yesterday, and I'm so excited because at my last place, sorry, I'm like fixing the tripod here. At my last place, oh, jeebus. Hold on, I need to lock it. Anyways, my last place was a little bit smaller, so then I got rid of a bunch of my bigger plants, like anthuriums. And yesterday I went to go check out my local Home Depot and I found this girl. Like, can you believe this? She was a little bit pricey, but I couldn't walk out of that store without her. She is a freaking showstopper. Look at her. She does have a little bit of what looks like cold damage, maybe? Or pest. I don't know. She got a good spray down and wash in the shower. She does have a new little leaf growing there. I haven't taken her out of the soil that she was originally in. I'm just letting her kind of acclimate, I guess. I don't usually leave my plants, my new plants, to acclimate. I repot them immediately. But I figured she's an anthurium and she might not like it, so just let her kind of chill for a little bit and get a feel for this place. But yeah. And over here, I'm actually gonna flip you around. All right, so here, cat tree, and this here is, if you watch one of my other videos, it's called Community Pots and their ability to save space. You will see this Sansevieria, OMG, Scindapsus, Sansevieria, Scindapsus, you know, same difference. Scindapsus community pot is featured in that video and you'll hear me talk about it. She is one of my favorite pots here. And she's huge. She's in a, I don't even know how big that pot is, but I have got a bunch of different Scindapsus in there. And I did this to save space in my last place. I had way too many plants there. I have way too many plants now, but you know, I just kind of kept it that way. I have no plans on moving those out of that pot. It's gonna stay that way. Now here, if you can see, I have 3 IKEA shelves. These are Vitjo shelves, the shorties, which is just half of a tall Vitjo shelf. Darn, I gotta get rid of that. I keep hitting it. Yeah, they're just a half of a regular tall Vitjo shelf. And I kind of just lined them up here. I'm not too crazy about this setup, but I will eventually rethink this whole setup and shift things around, which is going to be hard because more plants are making their way into this room, and that's going to be a little bit difficult to get everybody reorganized. So I better do this soon before even more plants make their way in. But yeah, let me show you some more plants. So here we have some Hoyas. This is a Hoya verticillata black margin, and you're going to see a bunch of this residue. I have been treating my Hoyas for mites. I did do for like a couple of weeks in a row. A few weeks in a row, I did do a insecticidal soap spray and then rinse. But now I switched over to a sulfur spray. So if you see, you know, some of them have like a white powdery residue on them, it is because of that. It is not mealies. And it rained a lot today and overnight, but as you can see, we still have snow out there. It's kind of gross now. The dogs have been all around it and doing their business on it. It still looks pretty out there. All right, back to the plants. There's a Hoya there, my little Hoya. Matilde. Here's a Peru that I just recently got. She did have a runner, and the lady that I bought it from, she said she was just done with it because it just kept getting the same runner and not putting out leaves. So here I'm hoping that I can get her to give me some more beautiful variegated leaves. And here, my Hoya latifolia. I just put her up on this trellis last night. And my obovata back here, I put her on a trellis as well. She really needed it. She's trying to reach up. And so I kind of DIY'd this with 2 hoop trellises, the bamboo hoops, and I literally just taped it. I'm gonna go buy some electrical tape, maybe like a colorful one or a different color, just so it doesn't look as tacky. But I am definitely all about the DIY, especially if I already have the materials, because why not? You know, just get like a sense of accomplishment when you're DIYing. Here, let's see, Jose Bono. It's looking a little sad. I did buy her from a local woman who was having trouble with her. This is the newest leaf. So I'm hoping she'll bounce back soon. There's a Verticillata Splash back here who also had a mite problem and a lot of mite damage. And ever since treatment, she has been shooting up and putting out so much new growth. Here is that mite damage. Here, let's see if I can get a little bit closer to show you some more. And you see that crusty flakiness, and then over here it looks like kind of like separation. That's also mite damage, as opposed to a healthy Hoya like this globulosa here. She doesn't have any of that and doesn't have any of that separation on the vines or what have you. But yeah, that was from mite damage, and I'm really trying to get that under control, which the my little regimen seems to be working. And look over here. You see the snow melting. Actually, it's not snow melting. It was raining earlier, but there's the runoff. Let's see. This one is Glabra Borneo. She's not really doing much because of, again, mites, but now she's growing again. She's got a little growth point down there. Here's a crinkle. I've had this one for years. Probably over 5 years I've had her now, from a small 3 or 4 inch pot, and she just kept growing and growing. And I recently repotted her into this, what is it, like a 10-inch pot maybe? And she's already giving me new growth. Lots of new growth. Yeah, look at how pretty those leaves are. You're gonna see a lot of pet hair everywhere because of my doggies. I'm gonna show you my doggies. There they are sleeping. And here I have some more. You know, I feel like the second and third shelf aren't as interesting as the top shelf. I feel like I put all of my favorite plants, or the plants that I really like to look at, on the top shelf. But I have some bangers here, like here is this Snowdrift. That's the newest leaf. It's so pretty. And then I have a Mayoi, Philodendron Mayoi. Here is my Hoya Ganungading. She's got some new growth as well. And my Incrusata, I think that's how you say it. Hoya Incrusata. Sorry if I got that wrong. Another Obovata intervariegated, which also had some really bad mite damage, and the leaves were coming in funky. Hopefully she'll start giving me some more leaves. I have a Christmas cactus, holiday cactus, Thanksgiving cactus, whatever that is. And she is starting to give, you know, flowers, little buds. And then over here is a Croton. She's a beautiful Croton, and she's the only Croton I have, and she's actually doing really well. I know Crotons are a little bit finicky. I have an Alocasia there. Aslanii, I believe. I cut her back, and she's growing beautifully. So I just took this broken glass and put it over her to kind of trap the humidity, and that helped a lot with her new growth. And then here's a Peperomia Cupid. I have been having trouble with this plant, you guys. I don't know what is wrong with her. She was big, beautiful, and trailing. I had her on top of one of my Vizio shelves, my IKEA shelves, and she was trailing so beautiful and just draping off to the side. And then one day she fell and just didn't bounce back after that. But I'm hoping I can get her to bounce back and give me those long, beautiful vines that she had before. Here's another Hoya. I think that is a Quincunrivia. And this cute terrarium that I won in a giveaway just recently. I think maidenhair fern in there and what looks like a syngonium and some moss. Let's go back over here. Let's see, where did I leave off over here? My Hoya compacta, Carrii. This is supposed to be a Micans Aria, but she's not Aria-ing anymore. I'm gonna have to cut her back, as you can see. She's got some of the variegation there, but she kind of reverted, and then she did get some thrip damage here. Here's some propagations. Another Hoya Waiatii or Waiatii. Yeah, the tricolor. Here's another Scindapsus community pot. This one has all of my rarer Scindapsus. I also talk about what Scindapsus I have in there in my community pot video. And here's a Pothos community pot back there. And this is my Philodendron burl marks, variegated burl marks. And yeah, I chopped her back, but she's a little bit of slow grower, so I'll see what happens with her. There's a Snow Queen Pothos. There's a Elbow Pothos, or the Epipremnum pinnatum elbow, I believe. Hoya Memoria or Gracilis. I never can tell which one's which or if it's the same thing, but yeah, she's actually really beautiful. This is one of, they're all my favorites, but this is one of my favorites. See how pretty that is? She's been giving me a lot of new growth. And she is in this self-watering pot that I got off of Amazon. These are actually really good pots. I love these pots. But yeah, she hasn't flowered for me, but I'm hoping she does this year. And then here is this poor, what is this, Baltic Blue Pothos? That has gone through some stuff, man. That is my cat. My cat likes to chew on my plants if I leave them low enough. He won't climb up on the shelves, but if they're low enough, he's gonna nom on them. There's a new leaf. I have this in the naked root pot, and it seems to like it in there. So we'll see what happens with that one too. Alright, let's go back over here. Over here next to this Hoya Crinkle, I have this beautiful Celtibacana El Salvador. I feature this plant a lot, because she's gorgeous. Actually last night I created this trellis. Again, I just doubled up on the bamboo hoops, taped them, and then she has been growing in these popsicle sticks. I'm gonna grab one to show you. So I got these at Walmart, and they're just jumbo craft sticks, and I thought they were going to be used for a different purpose, but I never got around to that. And then so I figured, hey, why not just support my little short plants on them as like a little tiny plank. And so what happened is that she really, really liked it. You see her roots? She really grabbed on to the wood. So then I added another one, and I got wood glue and glued it on. These get warped really easy with moisture, so I didn't do that for the next edition. I just taped it on. And that kind of held it really well. And so she'll continue to grow up on that. And the leaves on this Siltepecana El Salvador will fenestrate eventually. And this one does differ from the regular Siltepecana, because the regular Siltepecana is a lot smaller, has smaller leaves. Hold on, I'm going to show you. See how they're like pretty similar, but this one is smaller. And no, this one is not the same as that one. If anybody wants to say that, this is the regular smaller one. I have had this one on a trellis, not a trellis. I had her on a moss pole, and she grew so much. The leaves do get a little bit bigger, but not as big as this one. But yeah, isn't that cute right next to that one? These are so pretty. I absolutely love the silver on the leaves. All right, I'm going to put this one back. And over here I have this ginger plant. I believe that's what it's called. I got this at our Whole Foods here. I just saw her and I thought she was interesting. Repotted her immediately, and she started putting out these new leaves. Although they're not looking too great, so I don't know. But she's really pretty. And then there is this Peperomia leapfrog? Something frog. She's grown a lot. When I first got her, she was putting out a lot of new growth. She was in a little small pot, and my cat got to it and completely mowed it down. And that was a couple years ago, and now it's done remarkably well growing back. And then I have my Tycon Monstera. She's starting to lean towards the light. I mean, she's got so much light here. And she's leaning that way. So I'm gonna have to turn her. And she's touching the window, and I was worried about her touching the window, but so far, these are double panes, so I guess they're not that cold. That is her newest leaf. But yeah, I'm gonna have to find her a stake. She's really, really leaning that way, and I really don't want her to continue to lean. So I need to find a stake. I'm gonna have to go do that today. Got a little asparagus fern that I got yesterday. I want to put this in a jar or a big terrarium type setup thing. And then here, next to that, we have this recovering money tree or Pachira. She came with variegated leaves, and she had a lot of damage. So all of those leaves have fallen off, the other ones, and she's growing some new leaves here. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad she came back. Let's see. Xanthosoma londinii. I got this a couple of months, no, actually less than a month ago. So beautiful and so pretty. And then here I have a Scindapsus lucens. Let's see. I also have her growing up on these little big craft sticks or giant popsicle sticks. This one took forever to get to this point. I had this one as tiny little rooted cuttings, and it just forever to even grow. And as soon as I put it in the cabinet, in the IKEA cabinet, and up on this plank, it's shot up. Now it is sitting outside of the cabinet and it's still growing. So you can see here, it's got some new growth. And then it's got this other one here, which I'm thinking of chopping to propagate it, but I don't know. We'll see. But it gets these beautiful leaves. Look at that. I absolutely love these leaves. They're almost translucent when they're fresh. It's starting to harden off, but when they're brand new, they are just like translucent pastel color. It's pretty amazing. I have a philodendron El Choco Red that I got from the store. She's a little beat up. Getting a new leaf there. And then variegated Pilia. This one was, I don't know. Her leaves were getting pretty ugly like this. And they were falling. It was dropping a lot of leaves. And then I switched her over to a jar. And she took off. This is within a matter of weeks. And she's loving the jar life. So, and the bright light in here. You see how the newer leaves are starting to come out nice and flat and bigger? And that's the newest leaf. And yeah, love the jar life. Let's see. Here is a Hoya rigida. This one has big, beautiful leaves. Look at that veining on that Hoya. This was a cutting before I moved up here to the mountains from SoCal. I live in Northern California, the mountains, but before we moved up here from SoCal, I got rid of a bunch of big, beautiful plants and just took cuttings from each because I didn't want to move with that many plants. This was one of them, and out of that one cutting grew this just absolutely gorgeous plant. I wish that, here, let me show you. Just look at that. And she is in a self-watering pot. This is a self-watering pot I got from Walmart. And I do need to add another hoop trellis because she is a non-stop grower. And this is a rescue or rehab Philodendron Paraíso Verde. And here I have, I won this plant in a giveaway. And I've had this plant before, and I just wasn't a big fan of it. I am trying my best this time to have it grow beautifully and just do well. This is a Philodendron Brandy or Brandianum. And if you have this plant or have ever owned one, you know what a struggle it is. Or at least for me it is. The leaves always get stuck, and that's usually known as a humidity issue, but I do not have a humidity issue in this room. And that's on the low end right now. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to spray her and try to get her to release that leaf. And hopefully she stops acting up. Next to that, I have here this gorgeous Hoya Pubicalix Royal Hawaiian, Purple Hawaiian, I believe that's what it's called. This is another one that I added a trellis hoop to, the bamboo hoop, because it was shooting out this tendril that was just reaching out towards the window. And so I added that trellis last night, and seems to like it. She is shooting she's got so many growth points, it is ridiculous. This is another one that I have to take out of here so that you can appreciate the size. Just that is just, and look at those purple leaves. Just beautiful. They're dark purple, almost black. And the splash, amazing. So look at all of that new growth. Maybe I should turn her around so I can see that new growth better. There we go. I'm going to turn off this grow light. I don't need it right now. There we go. Let's see it a little better. Stunning. Here we have Hoya Chelsea. Some new growth. Like the Hoya Crinkle. Has these little divots. But this one's a little bit rounder. And then here, Spiritus Sancti. Got this as a small little plant in a 2-inch pot. It probably wasn't even in a pot, but it was tiny. I got it off Etsy. And a bunch of the leaves fell off during shipment, but it just bounced right back. I gave it lots of TLC and it's doing amazing now. It's been giving me bigger leaves every time. It's working on a new one. Back here we have a Hoya Nova Ghost. Another one that was suffering from mite damage, as you can tell here. But it's putting out new growth now. So hopefully we can get her to bounce back a little more. I almost totally forgot to show this second shelf here. I had already moved on to a different part of this plant room. This is, I forgot what this fern is called, but I've tried having this fern multiple times in the past, and I just don't do well with ferns. I think it's a humidity thing, but she's okay so far, so I'm crossing my fingers. A little peperomia back there, in a little jar. My variegated Hoya compacta. She is the slowest growing freaking Hoya in my collection. Like, why are you so slow? But I love her. Here is a few Hoyas that I have together in a pot. There's a Lacunosa, I think, Splash. It's not very splashy though. I'm not really sure if that's what she is. And then I have my Hoyas this Hoya's not doing very well. I have to see what's going on because she's yellowing over here. Might be an overwatering issue. Dang. Okay, I'll have to look at this pot, take it apart later. The other Hoyas are doing fine, so it might be an overwatering thing. It is a little bit moist. Sometimes I water them and I'm not used to having so much humidity in my house, and this room gets a lot of humidity just on its own. I think because it's like all of this, and then some of the seals are broken on the windows on the outside, so I think some moisture gets in, not in the way of like leaking or anything, but it's a rental, so there's nothing I can do to fix this, because you can see how the windows are all messed up. But yeah, it doesn't get moldy or anything in here. It just, you know, it gets a little humid. I'm thinking it's because it gets really cold in here, and then the warmth from my room makes it a little humid in here. But yeah, that might be my problem with this Hoya, and I think that's why it's not happy right now. So I'll have to check on this one after this video. I have this rabbit foot fern. Oops. Grow light fell. This is a rabbit's foot fern. I got her when she was in a little tiny pot, and she's grown so much over the past year. And the little, look at the little feet. That is so cool. And for not doing very well with ferns, this fern has been super duper easy. I recommend it. If you're not very good with ferns, yeah, I recommend this fern because all I do is water it. I don't do anything else to it. I have a squamiferum here that I got from Home Depot. I got it for like $7 or $7. I don't remember, but she was looking a little rough, so I asked if there was any way I can get her at a discount, and they gave it to me. They gave me that like good discount, so I think it was originally like $20. There's a rough looking pink princess back there. Yeah, if you know, you know. And then here's a lipstick plant that is coming back from some pest damage. She's getting some new growth there. In this corner we have a lipstick plant. It's giving me a lot of blooms. Lots of blooms. And then this sad looking variegated string of hearts that I'm trying to get her to come back. We have this Florida green here. I'm not really, she's not looking her best because I haven't really paid attention to her. I really need to chop her down and get her situated. And then this shelf up here has a neon pothos, and then here is a Hoya lacunosa silver, I believe. Something's happening to this. I don't know what's happening. I don't think she needs watering, so I'm gonna have to check her out. I noticed her leaves were a little bit on the flexible side, or a little squishier, so I'm gonna have to check her out. She was doing so well. I don't know what happened. Next to her, my beautiful Pride and Joy Hoya retusa. She was a rescue from Home Depot. She was sitting in a lot of squishy soil and not doing very well. And when I got her home, I lost most of it except for like this much. Stuck it in water, it rooted, and then voila. She just finished blooming. She had about 7 blooms. Oh, it fell. It gives you these cute little singular blooms instead of a cluster. And they're really, really pretty. Here is the Hoya choke right next to her. And I got this one from small little 4-inch pot, and it took off as soon as I repotted it. And back there is a very beautiful Syngonium frosted heart. And let's see what else. This is my Ansonia Indo Mint. Looks like this leaf is on the way out. I'll have to take that out later. But yeah, this one is a fast grower too. And it gives beautiful, big, beautiful leaves. Look at that. I also added one of those wood sticks to it to see if it'll attach itself. Hopefully. And then here is Cebu Blue Pothos. One of my favorite pothos. Look at that. This was a cutting from, oh, that needs to be watered. This was a cutting from a bigger plant that I rehomed, and it just grew really fast. It's so pretty. Let me stop moving it so you can actually see it. And it's in a self-watering pot. It might need to be repotted. I'm having to water it more often than not. And then here we have this cute watermelon dischidia, or dischidia, sorry. I never get that right. Pretty, pretty, pretty. That was a 2-inch plant. And then I repotted it and didn't like it, and it just decided to be happy again. Here's Hoya Sunrise. I love the leaves, the splash on this one. Ooh, it needs to be watered too. And my Hoya curtisii next to it and on a shelf. I've had this one for years. She's one of my OG Hoyas from way back. We go way back. And then variegated Maranta. Let's see, down here. This was a very big, gorgeous variegated Ansonii, and I chopped her to propagate her. And now she's growing back. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Let's see, here is a strawberry shake. And then caramel marble that I wanted to give away. It's got some nice variegation there. There's some props in this little greenhouse. I have it sitting on top of a warming mat. And that really makes the growth just shoot up. Or it makes everything grow faster. That's what I meant, for lack of better words. I have some more Scindapsus here, the Exotica, I believe. And then the one that they call Satin Pothos, Argarius Pictus. I don't know if I said that right. But yeah, this one's pretty. It's actually not growing runners. It's actually giving me leaves. Usually I have trouble with that plant, and it gives me runners. Or it gets leggy, meaning it gives me vines without leaves. And let's see. Here I have another Epipremnum pinnatum elbow, or elbow pothos, that I propagated. It's in a jar, living the jar life. Hidden in here is a silver sword that I have been ignoring. I need to put it up on a trellis or a pole. Here is a Paraíso Verde that I got yesterday from a local seller, and it's just so pretty. It does have a little bit of damage there, but other than that, it's just big and beautiful. And I'm going to repot it soon, but I just have to find a pot for it. Oh, I didn't show you my other succulent collection here. My little Funko Pops that I have just randomly placed. I got a bunch of these succulents from Walmart, and they're so cute. Look at that one. Just very interesting looking. I really like that one. But yeah. Then I have another Hoya there. Dracaena there. And that is a Whippleway that I got in a giveaway. Little pothos, and then my little prop jar. Let's see. I'll bring this prop jar down so I can show you what's in there. So I had this candy jar. I used it as a candy jar, and then I used it for sourdough, and then I upgraded my sourdough jar. I decided to just throw a bunch of moss in there, and perlite and leca, and I threw a bunch of props in there. Props that weren't doing well out here, or just props that I didn't really, I wasn't expecting them to do anything. And so now I have this like jar of growing props. It's like a little terrarium. I have a Hoya in there, pothos, some syngoniums. Let's see, what else do I have in there? Oh, I have this Monstera obliqua Peru. I have Micans in there, peperomias. I have Scindapsus cuttings in there too. Those were recent. But yeah, anything and everything goes into this jar. I have recently put a Philodendron Gabby that wasn't doing too well out here. I don't know if she's, oh yeah, she's gone. She's gone. I don't know why I had trouble with that plant. There she is. Philodendron Gabby. I'll take that out. Yeah, I should add some more pots to this jar. I'll scoot her back over there. Moving on to this Warswexii. I don't know if I said that right. Philodendron Warswexii Golden. I got her recently, but she doesn't seem to be too happy with me right now. And I can't tell if she's yellowing because her leaves are already golden. But she's looking a little sad. She did get repotted. And I don't know, she's got some new growth in there. Oh yeah, she does. Okay, she's happy. The leaves are just very delicate. And when I bought her, it was a very windy day and she got tossed around in the shopping cart on the way to my car. But okay, she's doing all right. Now up here I have a Kokedama Staghorn Fern. Here, let's bring this down. Oh, it's really dirty up there. Let's see if I can get this. My little Kokedama, Staghorn Fern Kokedama. It's a little project that I did, and I did make a video on how I did it. This was my first time making a Kokedama, and I really like the results. But yeah, you can go check that video out. It's called It's Kokedama Time. Let's see, what else do I have up there? And I have this Epipremnum pinnatum elbow, another terrarium up there. And then here we are at my Hoya cabinet. Oh, this Hoya cabinet stinks. Okay, so I'm using sulfur to treat my Hoyas and to prevent any more mites, and it just smells, it smells like rotten eggs in here as soon as I opened it. But I'll take it for now, as long as it prevents the mites. Alright, so here I have a bunch of Hoyas. I do have a few anthuriums in here as well, because they are high humidity loving plants. There's some damage from moving, from when we moved. That was a beautiful leaf too, and it got banged up. And here's the new growth. This is the new growth on the, this is the Wendlingeri, and then this is the Pallidiflorum. Some more Hoyas. Oh, and I do have a little ping that's hiding back there. She's, you know, she catches her own food. You know, she just chills back there. She doesn't bug anybody. She catches her own food. I just have to give her some distilled water every now and then. It's a cute, very beautiful Engleriana, Hoya Engleriana. And I didn't know this before, but she's in a pot and on the pot. I thought it was kind of cool when I noticed it the other day. This Bertoniae. It's giving me a lot of new growth. Oh look, there's a little Philodendron Birkin. So cute. Let's see what other ones I have in here. I have so many Hoyas in here. I would love to name them all off. Well, I kind of should, right? That's what I'm making. Oh no. Well, that one's done. I got this Hoya, what is it called? Hoya insularis. It's got these really cool long leaves, but looks like this one's done. Well, shoot. I tried so much with this plant. And I tried to bring it back and it just didn't budge. It's all rotted away. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. Let's see, this Walleniana. Oh, looks like I'm losing this one slowly too. It's called, I think, Walleniana variegated. She doesn't look too happy. She was in another pot with some other Hoyas, and I don't think she really liked that. So I repotted her, and she doesn't look too hot. She's a rare one too. It'd be sad if I lose her, which I think I am losing her completely. Oh man, that's so sad. I really like this. Maybe I should just take her out and put her in water. I'll do that after this video. This is a Weimanii Cloudy Sky. She's getting some new growth. Ooh, and let me show you this one. Oh. Try not to rip off her leaves. Parviflora Splash. Look at the splash on those leaves. Isn't that beautiful? She is in a drainless cup. I'm thinking of just putting her, I don't know, I don't want to really take her out of here. She's still doing pretty good. I bought her off of Facebook Marketplace like this, and she's doing really well in this drain-free cup. So I think I'll just keep her in there. It's kind of like putting them in a jar. She might like the jar life. I have a Mitrata Silver here. She's not doing so well either. All like my good Hoyas are not doing well. This one had mite damage too. New Guinea Ghost was doing horrible. She's starting to give me some new growth now that I've been treating her for mites, but that is mite damage. If you ever see that crustiness on your Hoyas and the leaves aren't growing or the new growth is falling off, that is why. That one is about to fall off. That leaf right there, it's gonna drop. I just sprayed her with some sulfur spray, so let's hope that does it. Let's see. And then we have this Lacunosa leopard skin. Really cool pattern. I wouldn't call it splash. It's more like speckled because the silver is around. And then I have this Wilbur Graves silver. It's got some new growth. Then I have a little prop of a Hoya white pearl back there. Here is the mother plant and Engleriana. This Engleriana was a very small rooted cutting from theplantedbean.com. You should go check out that website. She's got a bunch of cool stuff on her website. Let's see. This was from a giveaway. It is a variegated Curtisii. And that was cool when I got that. I didn't even know until I looked closer when I opened up the package. I'm like, oh, she's variegated. Some little props here. And then this is a Caudata Sumatra, I believe. Hoya Caudata Sumatra. I don't know if I said that right. A lot of these little name tags are starting to fade. And then here is my Hoya, what is her name? I'm drawing a blank here. This is my Hoya Argentea Princess. She's got some new growth too. These two new leaves are starting to harden off. And let's go down here. Oh. Latifolia Albo. Latifolia Snow Queen. Look at those new leaves. So pretty. And then Manny Parensis. I love the shape of these leaves. Absolutely love it. And then I have this Clemenciorum. It was a cutting and it's fully rooted now and giving me new growth but no leaves. Little tendril without leaves. And it's a Dischidia bangladensis. This one's cool too. And then I totally forgot what the name of this one was. Hoya. Got some a new growth point there. And this one, another pretty Hoya. I forget what this one. Lima Silver. Here is my Lita Bowie. I can never get the name right on this one. This one had some mite damage too. The new growth is looking good though. So the treatment's working. And then down here I have, this was Hoya Elephant AC something with numbers. Mites. It's recovering from mites and it looks like some new growth is starting up. You guys, let me tell you, I didn't even know flat mites were a thing until I started noticing a bunch of my Hoyas stunted new growth and leaves were falling off. So you're gonna see a lot of my Hoyas had some damage. And then here is a Madara Green Edge. This one had 2 leaves growing from there and they just fell off. They got chewed up by mites. But you can see the new growth there. It's still okay. So she's doing fine. Let's see, what else do I have? There's this Hoya Incrusata Elbow. She's got some new growth. I have a Matilda Splash back there, and then this is a Hoya Undulata, who was also looking rough because of mites, but she's doing much better. Here's an Alocasia, Pink Dragon. She's random in here. And then this, I just recently got this for free with another plant purchase, and it's a Radicans plus Luxurians plus Radicans Anthurium. Stuck her in here for the humidity, and she's got a new leaf coming in. And then this is a Hoya Ezo Delac Forest. I found her on Marketplace and that was the name. It's got some new growth point there. Here's a Hoya Rosita. It's got some new growth coming in too. So pretty. And then I think that's a Snow Princess. Pothos Snow Princess. Hoya Oditiae. I think that's how you say it. This one's got really pretty long, narrow leaves. I like that. And then there's that Sultipacana I showed you earlier. Dischidia Million Hearts. Ripsalis here. I forget what Ripsalis it is. I think it starts with a C. Complicated name that I can't say. But this one's really taking off. I recently got this one too from Home Depot. And then here's my philodendron community pot. I should probably show you from this angle, the light. It's got like 5 different philodendrons in there. The lemon lime, Brazil, variegated, regular green one. Although I think we might have some pesties. Here, let's see. No. I'll give her a rinse off later and spray, just to make sure. And then this Tradescantia. My daughter was in garden club at school and brought me a little cutting in some water, and that was about 3 years ago probably. Here's another Bretonnier. And Mandula. I've had this one for years too. She's looking a little rough on the backside though. Look at that. She'll get better. I just wasn't watering her as much as I should. I also have these plants out here on the dining room table because I have nowhere else to put them. This is my ficus. I got this at Grocery Outlet for about $10, and she's actually doing really well. Don't my husband back there playing his video games on the computer. And then I have this Dracaena here, and she's looking gorgeous, like so pretty. I hope she doesn't die on me. I don't really do well with Dracaenas. And then I have a very, very poor looking Calathea. You know how that goes. Here is Philodendron Jerryhorn. Not doing very well. Well, it's doing well, it just doesn't look that good. I chopped it down and it's got a new growth point there. So I'm hoping he comes back. I might take him off of this plank though. I don't really like the plank. It came back to me from my aunt, and he wasn't looking too good, but he'll bounce right back. And then hanging over here are some Hoyas. I think this is Crimson something. I'm not sure. This is our storage closet that's in like the dining room, and it holds a bunch of junk down here. So, but it gets really good light from this door here. So that's why I have these hanging here. This is a Crimson Princess, I believe. I don't know. And then there's this red Maranta. I'm thinking of chopping and propping because she's a little bald up top. Here we are going into my very messy living room. And these are the only plants that I have in here, only because this is his space, sort of, and I didn't want to take over the living room with plants. But I still put plants out here. I mean, they get great light. So here is a golden pothos. And then up there is a Philodendron atabapensi. I believe that's how you say it. And then here's my Billy. She's getting a new leaf up there, and it's looking great. Thinking maybe I should turn it. I had zero room anywhere else for that plant, but I really like how it looks up there, and so that's where it's staying, since it does get some really good light from this window. And yeah, I mean, it seems to be thriving up there. I thought it wouldn't get enough light, but it's still growing big beautiful leaves, so that's exactly where she's gonna stay. And then very sad looking orchid. I don't do well with orchids. I probably should try, because it's so sad just leaving it here. I did water it the other day, so it's still alive. And here in this corner under the grow light is Monstera Deliciosa. This was before we moved up here to Northern California. I took a cutting of this one, and I will be inserting the picture here of the original mother plant. I left her behind with a friend, and she's doing really, really well. But these were cuttings from that Monstera that I brought with me, and they are putting out a lot of new growth. Leaves are a little bit dusty, but it's okay. And then there's a new leaf growing back there. So I am so happy, and I wanted to get back to its former glory. I just want her to look like her mama. Eventually. Hopefully this is the year. This hot mess here is my kitchen window. And it really and truly is a hot mess. This is where I just put a bunch of plants that I didn't know what to do with. And it does get a little bit cold here, so it's not ideal for plants right now. I do have that philodendron jerryhorn propagation, and it looks like it's rooting. I think it's rooting. I'm not sure. Can't really tell. But I have a couple of cacti up there. I have this, what do you call this one? Cissus discolor back there that's coming back slowly. It was not doing so well until I chopped it. And then it's the Travescantia that's doing really well. This one grows really, really fast. You literally just cut it and put it back in the soil and it roots within days. And there's another Travescantia, another orchid back there just fighting for its life. Some propagations here, little Dischidia, and then some more propagations rooting back there. But yeah, this window needs a whole makeover and just organization, but I'll get to it at some point. But for now, this is what it's gonna look like. Oh my goodness. I hope you enjoyed that little plant tour. I mean, it wasn't a big ol' exciting plant tour. I really honestly didn't know how to go about showing each and one of my plants. It's, you know, you show them and I could literally talk about each one of them forever. So I had to like, all right, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. This is my plant. And I maybe gave like a backstory of one of them. And of a few of them I meant. But yeah, I can't wait to see what my end of the year plant tour is going to be. All right, this sweetie wants to sit right here with me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be quite a few more plants added to this collection throughout this year. I am planning to rebuild my collection to what it used to be at one point. I think right now I have about 215 plants, and in the grand scheme of things in the plant world, I think that's on the lower side. There are some people out there with like 600-700 plants. Now, I'm not going to be getting to 600 or 700 plants. I don't know where I'd put them all. I kind of do, but I don't know that the hubs will appreciate 600 plants in the house. But yeah, I am excited for the types of plant. I really want to get into philodendrons more again. As you can see behind me, that Paraiso Verde that I got yesterday from a local woman. I was so excited when I saw it and I had to have it because I'm trying to rebuild my philodendron collection up again. It's mostly Hoyas in this house. So there's nothing wrong with that. I really, really like my Hoyas and I love my Hoyas, but I really want to get back into philodendrons, pothos. I had so many pothos, and like I show you in that other video, this community pot of pothos. Look at how pretty that looks. And I love this pot, and I'm not going to take the pothos out of the pot, but I definitely want to start up my collection of pothos again and have a bunch of different ones up on shelves in the house. If you can look over there, that wall is screaming. That wall over there is screaming plants. Put plants on me. So I have a couple of shelves that I got custom made by a maker on Instagram. He works with wood and he makes such amazing things. The account on Instagram, it's called Salty Woodworks. Salty Taco Woodworks. That's what it's called, and it's they're out of the Bay Area in California, I believe, the Bay Area, and he makes some amazing stuff. And I asked him, he showed a couple of shelves that he made, and I said I want a couple of those. So then he made them for me, and they are gorgeous, and I can't wait till they get here. So I definitely want to put those in here in the room above or next to my bed. And then I need to buy some more shelves so I can put more in that area, because I think that some pothos are going to look really great in that spot. All right, let me put this back over here. But I have so many plans for this plant room. I need to figure out what kind of shelves I want to replace these Vitso shelves with. I'm not going to get rid of the Vitso shelves, but I definitely want to get some different, some taller shelves here so that I can fit more plants, because you have to maximize your space. Some people are minimalist when it comes to plants. I am not one of those people, which is okay. It's okay. You can be one or the other. You don't have to have a certain amount of plants. You know, you don't have to strive for a certain amount of plants. I just like it when I see it, and so then I want it and I get it. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Yeah, I'm thinking of filming a video on all of my plants in jars and stuff. Oh, look at the kitty. I didn't know she was sleeping in there. The doggies. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing that because I think plants in jars are cool. And this is controversial with a lot of planty people, because there are people out there that say drainage, drainage, drainage. You have to have a drainage hole. But I think that you can have plants in a jar. You just have to know how to care for those plants. So maybe that'll be my next video. But yeah, I think that's it for this planty tour. I hope you enjoyed it, or at least got something out of it. I got to show you my collection, sort of. Maybe at the end of this year, you're gonna see a lot more planties. But yeah, I'm gonna get going to do some more plant chores and rinse off some of these plants that are looking a little rough. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and see you guys later. Bye!